Hi everyone, it's Killshot99 Gaming. This is Played It Live, the Cove test stream. Here we are after a pretty event-filled week, and I know there's been just a whole range of emotion, and little by little we get back into the game. I know it does take time. I know we got Trigger and Flyrod watching tonight, and certainly our thoughts and prayers continue to go out with you. Need you back, champ, soon as possible. The game's not the same without our players, but we all certainly understand. We are going to show you guys some really cool stuff tonight. So there's a couple changes tonight. We were going to do the Clash, and I was like, you know what? Let's push this back a week because I know the champ likes being here for the Clash. I mean, he's two-time defending champion. So we're going to push this back to next week, and we're going to do a little play test of the Cove because there's still some unfinished business with the Cove. We're going to try a couple moves tonight if we get far enough into it. Maybe an hour stream, but I've got a couple suggestions that we're going to kick in. One of the things that we want to look at is adding 2 boats. So what we want to do is we want to have a boat in the first half for each dock, and then if you use it or you don't use it, you get another boat that will reset in the second half. So think about that for a little bit. That does give you the opportunity to basically cap 4 boats if you steal 2 of theirs and then your 2. So Defender is going to be a big move. I see Valar in the house. What's up, Valar? Hello, 99 Army. Kills, great mods, channel members, PDL players, sponsors, bundle, and box lovers. Let's go, Cove, NFS, Valar. So that does remind bundle and box lovers. So we are not doing a bundle tonight. We're going to talk a little bit. We're going to do some Q&A. I don't know what a Q&L is. But you guys know on Saturday is when we really do the Tier 5 gear, the Raven gear. So I did have some requests for gear tonight, but we're going to push tonight's bundle. The PvE gear bundle is going to be next Saturday night. So if there were some requests you guys had, I apologize, but I just didn't have time to put the bundle together. We will have there's no pack opening tomorrow. So the next bundle is going to be Monday night, and it's Onslaught gear. So, hey, save your pennies tonight and then get ready for the Onslaught bundle Monday night. And then on Wednesday night, we got the championship match. So Monday night, we've got those sneaky sly players traveling to Vox. That is a battle for third place. And in some cases, you might say it's a battle not to be last. So believe me, these teams are not just going to be going through the motions. They want to win. Then Wednesday night, we do have the championship. That is the Jungle Championship. So it is important that we get a little bit more of the questions out today. So we're going to split up the teams a little bit and let you guys go through some moves, hit on each other a little bit. And then if there are any questions, ask them tonight or write them down. Is my competition committee here? Who do we have here from the comp committee? Is Moonshot here? Busy? Moon, Busy, Dimes. Not sure if I've seen football. All right, cool. So I want you guys to especially, Craven, you're not in the Craven wants to be in every committee. He just got promoted to the inventory committee, and now all of a sudden he's like, me. No, you're in the Bloodhound gang, and you're in the inventory committee, not the competition committee. This guy. But I do want to give a big shout out to the inventory committee because they did a awesome job. So tonight we're going to be messing around a little bit. I'm going to show you a couple sneak peeks from the web portal I'm excited about. I don't know. You guys might not get as excited about it as I do, but I am very excited. When I just see like little things, and you'll see what I'm talking about, it's pretty awesome. So we'll be taking some notes. We'll listen to your feedback. If there's something that you want to see changed for the Cove, I am going to talk about a major rule change and part of, absolutely. Hayden and Owen hopefully are watching. Hayden and Owen, are you guys watching? Who is the best gamer? I know people are saying Ninja and people. No. Before those guys were gaming, there was Killshot. So, yeah, appreciate you guys being here and watching. So, and we went from gaming to creating our own game. And I will be playing when the web portal's up. So, don't think. So let me give you a little bit of the timeline. All right, I'm gonna give you guys big picture timeline. By the 3rd week of August, this web portal is going to be live. Now, on this web portal, you're going to be able to create characters, trade inventory, upgrade your inventory. We're still going to have the inventory team, and they're going to be entering the bundles, and they're going to be deducting your items. It's going to be super fast. When the web portal is officially up, the time that I free up from doing the inventory and I turn over to Kel and Moon and Riley and Cravenlight, I am going to be working with my man Richard from the Web Founders, and we are putting together the foundation for the Burn Arcade. So that means September, October, November, we are going to be creating the Burn Arcade, and we're going to really be hyping up our cryptocurrency, the Burn Coin. So by December 15th, my expectation before Christmas is that you guys will not only be able to log on and play and get your characters and everything ready, but in your free time, you're going to be able to log on and play Yahtzee against PDL players, or play Scrabble against PDL players, or play trivia against PDL players, or play video games against other players. So that's going to get us through the holidays. So once the Burn Arcade is live, in January, I'm going to start working on the online Play Dead Live faction war game, where it is going to be Moonshot versus Cravenlight, where they can go in 2 o'clock in the morning and play each other. Flyrod can go in and play versus Trigger. So instead of just where the Burn Arcade is, instead of just playing games against each other, we'll be able to play, like Ocean Man said, kills come out of retirement. Well, maybe I will. So maybe me and Ocean Man will play, and I'll live stream it and show you guys. So I'll upload videos of our game. So we're going to build that in January. So January, February, March, and April, we're going to be creating the avatar version of the online game. So my expectation is to roll that out in May. And by July, we are hoping to have our first ever Play Dead Live Con in Atlanta, Georgia. So, and then we get to meet all of you guys. So there's much work to do. The hope is that maybe we'll be able to all get together and do a 2 or 3 day presentation and go through the history of Play Dead Live, all of the rollout, all of the different things that we've sort of been through. Subject to change based on world conditions, but we'll see. All right. I got a couple screenshots I want to show you guys. And this is why it's more than just a fantasy. All right. It's a lot still to change. As you can see, there's only a couple classes that are in there. This happens fast, though. Whenever you build this, you have to build the wireframes. So I love the ornate border. It's sleek. All of these stats that are up there, we will have the ability on the back end where it says focus, brawn, strength, intellect, guile, agility, faith. Those are all the items that are on your character record sheet. So over to the right, where you pick male or female, it's going to be your avatar builder. Level will populate on the back end. We're going to be able to put in XP. When we put in XP, that level is going to calculate health, damage, dodge, a few other things. And you may wonder, like, what is dark side? That was one of my rogue characters. So where kill shot was my hunter, dark side was my my rogue. So there's history there. Simple. There's going to be more to it, but this gives you just a little bit of an idea. Okay? Character creation. All right, this is pretty cool. This is pretty cool. All right. I know you guys might look at this and be like, all right, what are you so excited about? Look at the share inventory drop down up at the top. So as characters get created, you'll be able to click on body, head, potion, all of those categories, and then send those items. You get to pick who you want to share with, and then click on those items, send them over. Still, a lot of work to do. Very, very raw, but we're getting there. And then this. Oh my goodness. There it is, everybody. Look at this. Very simple. Pick the player. Pick the item. Trade to player. Click on this and it'll give you the trade status. So it's a lot more screenshots, a lot more cool things that we're going to put together. But little by little, it's a living, working test website. So I've gotten several volunteers, but I will be asking some of you guys, once we get further along, very buggy, as would be expected right now. Time's out on a few things because of the data. But I'm going to be asking for a few of you guys to go in. There's other features as far as guild/faction features. So it'll show who all's in your faction. And then the inventory team. This is where Craven, Light, Moon, Kel, myself, and Riley. Before we go live, what we have to do is I'm going to send them files of basically all of this, right? This is not for sale tonight. Don't get excited. This is last week's bundle that we did. So all of these items, we are going to have to upload the images and put a description and put the stats. And there's over 2,000 items. So this just up on the screen, we're going to have to go in and put Raven necklace. It'll have subcategories. Tier 5 Raven necklace, and then you'll put health 30, damage 30. But once you do that, it's going to be several days that we're working on it behind the scenes. But once we get that stuff in there, it'll start to populate in your inventory. It's going to be really, really cool. So I've been trying to distract you guys with wonderful tournaments and great stories and Clash and all these things. So we just buy more time and we get to August and September. So all these things are a regular part of your game, a regular part of your universe, where you can just log in and boom, your stats. Now, look, if they take a little longer, they take a little longer. We're going to get it right. And that's where some of the play testing is going to come in. I'm going to have you guys actually look for spelling, look for things that might not be centered, things that make sense. They don't look like the character record sheet. There's going to be things that we find that are bugs. Yes. It will calculate all of your stats. So when you upgrade, that'll become a new permanent item. So it won't say Neon Shamrock Sheila Epic 2. It'll say Neon Shamrock Epic 2. And then if Sheila trades it, it'll still be an Epic 2. So I won't have to go in and, like right now, if Tiny trades gear to Ocean Man, it says Tiny Epic 3. When I trade that to Ocean Man, I got to go in and change all that data. Now it's just going to upgrade the weapon, and it'll be a permanent part of that weapon. Then when it goes from person to person, it'll trade all the characteristics that are on there. I just got a message of someone said I would love to try and help you break the website. You got it. But yeah, it's going to be I found something the other day just surfing it, and I wasn't really looking, but there were I was on Google Chrome. Yeah, I think I was on Chrome. And when I went to put in the email, it populated the email. I mean, small bug, right? But then it wouldn't let me click and populate it. So we just took like little notes. Those are going to be the things that we're looking for. Just little small things. And we're going to be fixing it along the way. But you know what? This is our game. This is what we've turned it into in 2 years. Pretty amazing stuff. All right, speaking of games, and if you tuned in a little bit late tonight, again, no bundles tonight. If you did prepay Kale early expecting the Raven gear, then you can either apply that toward Monday night, the Onslaught bundle, or you can apply it to next Saturday. And the inventory team will basically get a night off tonight because none of the items used will be taken out of your inventory. So I got to ask this question, Kel. Kel, how smooth was inventory this week? With you, Riley, Moon, and Craven. Was it fast? I'm going to take that as a yes. It was fast. So tomorrow morning, I'm going to be working on data entry. So earlier than normal, not 11 o'clock at night, I'm going to be sending out your inventory so you guys can see all the replenishment, all the Super Bomber bundles you guys got, the pack opening event we did. So it's still going to take me hours to do that. But again, when the web portal's up, I'm going to have the 4 of them really go in and tackle it. And it's not going to logjam. So it won't be like, okay, this is going to be done Sunday morning. They're going to do it as we go. So if we do a PvP on Monday night, they're going to get together Tuesday morning and split it up. And by 10 or 11, they're going to have inventory uploaded. So we can still email it out, but you'll be able to go in, just log in, and it's going to be right there. So cool stuff. All right, let's get, I know we got some questions. So I'm going to take you to the Cove. All right, so the first thing that I want to do is I want to address probably the elephant in the room. And that is teams, numbers, what happens if this or that, so on and so forth. All right, so right now, let me give you guys some sample lineups, okay? And tell you my thought process, and then we'll sort of walk through. All right, so let's just say we had Crimson over here as a bomber. And let's say we had Valar over here as a bomber. And we decided to put Cat over here as a tank. And then we put B-Dub over here as a tank. And then we put Busy over here as a defender. And we put Craven Light over here as a rover. And we put Julia over here as a rover. And we got a few people that may or may not be playing tonight. So I'm going to put some different people. All right, so I need to move all these people off the field so you guys can understand why my thought process is what it is with this. Because I play tested multiple scenarios. All right, so we got 4 versus 4. Normal lineups. And we'll put, we know Trigger and Fly Rider watching tonight. You guys will hang out up here with us. All right. So I gave consideration to matchmaking. And what I found is if a team plays another team and they are down one player from the other team, there's very little difference in the outcome of the game. That if you play 6 versus 7, depending on who you play now, or 7 versus 8, the game typically plays out with the team that makes the most mistakes loses. So with the current state of lineups and, who can play, who can't play, I had a couple different options. One was to cap it at 7 players. Because every faction has 8 players. But we've recently had players who are playing or not playing or whatever the lineup would be. Maybe they're missing, maybe there's a medical situation, something going on. So every faction except for one has been playing 6 or 7. Now last season, about 90% of the games had 7 people playing. And I've always felt like 7 people was kind of the sweet spot. The problem that we're going to have is if a team with 6 plays a team with 8. In those situations, it's almost impossible for the team that is down 2 players to win. Because that's 2 additional bosses, it's 2 additional cooldowns, and it's 2 additional legendaries. That's a lot. It's a lot to overcome. So I was looking at the matchmaking and saying, well, what can we do to make it where it doesn't penalize anybody? Now, ideally, when Walking Dead kicks off, the season will be a couple weeks in. Every team may have 8, 9, 10, or 11 players. And then we have a different problem. We'll have to play on a different night to get people in the game. So in order to properly matchmake, I did not want to go to teams and say, hey, you got 8 people tonight, you can only play 7. But at the same time, I can't have teams playing 8 bosses. I can't have teams playing legendaries. So, a team may play 8 players. 7 is the sweet spot. However, right now, then that could change after a couple of weeks if every team has 8. Whoever is designated as the 8th player can play, they can attack, they can use items. They can't play a boss, they can't play a mitigation, and they can't play a legendary ability. It won't affect you as often as you think because, as I said, 90% of the games had 7 players. But there are going to be situations where you may have an 8th player, and if that 8th player comes in, it's going to create such a mismatch. Just like if we have 5 players, you can't play. So if for whatever reason we have 5, we got to forfeit the game. Now, can I take the gloves off for a minute? Because I'm about to get a little bit rude. But I need your permission before I get rude. Because I'm just going to be blatantly blunt and honest. I want to make sure I got everybody's interest. We created a game that we play at 9 o'clock at night, right? We're not talking about 8 in the morning when you get dressed to go to work in most cases. Some people do work later in the evening. I understand that. We're not talking about 5 o'clock rush hour traffic. And we're talking about a game that in some situations you can't be there for the whole 3 hours. But is it too much to ask to prevent your team losing or to prevent a forfeit for your team to call you and say such and such, log in and play your move and hit enter and go away? And we'll call you again in 30 minutes. And they buzz you again in 30 minutes and you cut and paste a second move. Is it too much to ask to have players enter 2 lines of type? I'm mind blown here. You have got to get with your factions and tell them it is important that players show up. I got people playing from hospitals. I got people playing from freezers. I got people playing who are sick. I got people, I'm serious. It's not that hard. If you're expected to be here for 3 hours and be in every single move and the mind of every player, I understand it. But at a minimum, you could be there for 5 minutes for your team. And if there's some confusion around that, message me. I will teach you how to do it. I will teach you how to type a move and save it and cut and paste it so you play 1 or 2 moves and then you go to bed if you got to get up early the next morning. Because that is better than your team losing by not having enough people. And if we do those things, every single team will have 7 people. And we won't be talking about mismatches. And I just can't take it anymore. I can't take somebody messaging me saying, I got to babysit. Okay. You got to babysit. You're posting on Facebook already. You can't post your move. So, this does not impact 90% of our players. But as faction leaders and as competitors, you can't let these players who make an excuse to not be there off the hook easily. You got to push back a little bit. And by pushing back a little bit, I mean, do what I just did. Teach players how to, hey, all we need is a couple moves. I get it. You can't be here tonight. But we got to have a couple moves because we work hard to play this game. And that's where the leadership will find ways to work that in. Because again, I have been extremely, extremely patient with players, Villar, Dow, who I know are working, and it's going to take them a little bit longer to get their move in. And I give them a little bit more time. And I'll be like, all right. And sometimes they got to funnel it through. But you know what? I need them there. I need them to be a part of it. And their team needs them there. And sometimes they can be there the whole match. And sometimes they can only be there 2 moves. And that's fine. Because they gave it their best effort. They gave it their best shot. So, find ways to make sure that your team is at full strength. All right, so that's animated. And I've had some of those conversations. And I've had people come back and say, you're right. This is pretty easy. See, Dow's working, and what he's doing right there is all you need to do. That same, I'm listening from my Harry Potter cubby now. That could be move to Temple, drop heal and seal smoke, play boss to their chest, and throw freedom loaded. Boom. That's one of your 2 required moves. You know what? Then he could go back to work. Somebody from Art could call him on Messenger. Hey, Dow, your move's up in about 2 minutes. Be ready. All right. He goes back in. He types something else. They could sub him out, and then he's done. So, if you've got somebody in your faction that this would affect, reach out to them. Number 1, reach out to them and say this. We really want you to play. We really want you to be there. We want to build our community. We don't want to exile our community. But we got to have people participate. And then number 2, ask this question. What do you need us to do in order to make sure that you can get those moves in? All right. So can we get that commitment from everybody here? That all of you guys will reach out. I don't want anybody to get fired. I don't want anybody to have a car wreck. I want you guys to be safe. But can we get that commitment and set the expectation in all factions that we want the best PvP? And here's why. I could have changed the rules to faction wars 2 seasons ago and said it's just going to be 5 versus 5 and about 10 of you are just going to get left out. And I don't want to do that. I want to get everybody in the game. Look, sometimes you might be on the bench. You might think you're a starter caliber. There's going to be that. And sometimes you might get to start. And sometimes you might say, look, I'm here every week. Put me in, coach. Get me some playing time. All right, so the reason I'm doing this live is because I need the partnership from all of you. That way, the next person that messages me, that you guys are going to be having these conversations. So, I do take it personally because I have a lot of talks with you guys. And when I don't feel like a player has that level of commitment, whether it's just, hey, pop it in and say, what's up, faction? I bet you Jim was in ARC chat every single day when she was on vacation. True or false, ARC? I bet you Jim checked in or at least messaged somebody every single day she was on vacation. So, again, and if this hits a nerve for the 1 or 2 people that need a break from social media, let me tell you something. We are the break. This is a family. This is a group. When you need a break from this group, there's something wrong with you. Because this is where people come to be a part of something. All right. And if you want to be a part of that, act like it. Act like you want to be a part of it. Act like these relationships mean something to you. Act like the work that other people put in means something to you. And don't take them for granted. Because if you do take them for granted, you might not have them anymore. I can see a whole list of I can tell you guys stories of work. Dimes didn't miss a match. Trigger, Bonnie, Jim, Julia. I mean, all of you guys. Kel with a migraine. Julia at an event. Dal at work. Sheila at work. Ray, probably stoned out of his mind, still played. Small sacrifices. Sometimes Ray is even dozed off occasionally. Your move, Ray. Oh, okay. Okay, now that's understandable because he started out being here. Might not have finished here, but he started out being here. That's all we can ask. All right, so it's been a long time since I've done a rant, and I did ask permission tonight. Because I'm going to tell you, this group is a very, very receptive group. And I'm just going to ask you guys to raise the expectations. Because I'm going to start asking that. We'll say, you know what? Take a month off. Go to Tahiti. When you come back, we'll still be here. We're probably going to lose all of our games, get knocked out of the tournament, but that's all right. You don't need to check your phone. We got you. Oh, look. Such and such is back. We missed you so much. Great to have you. You obviously didn't miss us because you didn't say anything for 4 weeks. So we got to weed that out. I'm sorry, but it doesn't allow us to plan and set up rules and do things that make sense for everybody. So my hope is that this 8th person rule won't be in effect very long. Because when we get 7 consistently, as I said, 7 versus 8 is not a problem. 6 versus 7 is not a problem. 6 versus 8 is a problem. So when we get 7 every week, we'll pull the 8th person rule, and then I don't care if that 8 person uses legendaries and bosses and everything else. You can't use 8 bosses anyway. Can't cap them all. And that doesn't mean the 8th person always has to be the same person. That 8th person could be a person who can only come in and play for a couple of rounds. It's not going to be a case where it's the best player, the worst player. It's the person that it makes the most sense that you can say, all right, maybe it's Tiny. Maybe Tammy's not feeling well and she says, hey, Tiny's going to be the 8th person tonight. He's not going to use a boss. Didn't need one anyway. I can go cap it myself. Or maybe that 8th person is just going to go cap a chest. But here's the thing that I'm going to ask. Until we get 7 and 8 consistently, if you are that 8th person, don't whine about it. Don't cry about it. Could happen to anybody. It's going to be what's best for the team. If the team decides to play 8, you're still going to play. You're still going to be a part of that. Your ammo is still going to hit. Your pets are still going to be used. Your grenades and your potions are still going to be used. You just can't play a boss. You can't use a legendary. You can't use a cooldown. And in a lot of cases, that 8th person is probably going to be a person's only playing 2 turns because you have 8. So it's not like they're going to play 4 turns anyway. All right. That is the biggest question. And I knew I'd have to come at, I'd have to make a bold statement tonight by saying it that way. If there are any questions or people feel like this personally is addressed at them, have them message me. It might be. But it is all in faction seriousness. We need you. And again, my goal is not to exile anybody, but I need commitment. And if a player has been suspended or a player is no longer a part of a group and they wake up and they're out of the group, then they should probably message me. I'm not saying it's a lifetime ban, but I'm saying that our community deserves your attention and your interest and your support. And it is a privilege to be a part of this group because it's an awesome group of people. All right, that's all I got. That's all I got for that. So let's get back to some X's and O's. Oh, and then the last thing is if 2 or 3 people do take that personally, then I guess we'll go down to 6 versus 6. So there you go. We want you to be here, but we deserve your respect and attention as well. All right. I need everybody that wants to get a couple walkthrough rounds. Do me a favor. I'm going to put Trigger and Fly Rod in the boats. I'll let you guys hang out there. All right. So if you want to get a couple practice rounds in, do me a favor. Give me a number from 1 to 20. All right, so we're going to start out, and let's go. We'll go 5 versus 5. And I'm going to randomly bring some subs in. All right, so I'm going to bring people in after a couple moves. So just hold tight. Get whatever move you want to get in. It's not going to be 2 or 3 rounds per person like it was last week. I just want you guys to get used to the map a little bit. So here's the order. So we're going to go top to bottom. So Valar slightly, we'll go Valar, Ocean Man, Crimson, Ron, Julia, Craven Light, Samurai, Busy, Moonshot, and Animal. And as people go, we'll sub a couple other people in. So Valar, remember, play whatever you want. Don't go in the portal. We know what the portal is like. But play any items you have in your inventory. So Valar, go ahead and start it out. And I'm not going to be officially keeping score, so I'm going to be doing some major estimating with health totals. And if you see something from the map, competition committee, write it down. Or if you guys have a question, then stop and we'll address the question. All right, Valar's going to move to Temple, Summon Rod, and Pet Repel. All right. Valar moving over here, so you can kind of see it. There. Summon Rod, and she's going to go S6, Savage 6. Team Ray, Ron, Craven, Busy, and Animal. Ron says red, blue. All right, red, blue flying over there. Shutting it down. Sorry, Valar, no damage for you. Ocean Man, you're up. All right, Ocean Man is going to send the boat. Now, Ocean Man is a you're a warrior. Oops. What am I thinking? All right. Warrior means 2 turns, and it is his own boat. So turn number 1. I got to find the boats. Hold on. All right, warrior. Takes 2 turns to get there, so his boat's right there. All right, after Ocean Man, let's go to Crimson Tide. Crimson Tide, you're up. All right. Looks like it got cut off. So half her move is Seal, Summon, Rod, and she was getting ready to throw something. Freedom loaded to the wall. All right. No juice on it, so I'm assuming Craven and company are going to let it hit. Black and green. All right, so each boat, and I'll go through this again, and we'll probably have to print it and send it out to everybody. If an engineer releases a boat, it will hit the same turn, and it will take out 2 blocks, but it can be prevented. If a warrior releases a boat, it takes 2 turns, and it deals extra damage up to a maximum of 3 blocks. Now, it depends on which blocks and the health of the blocks, but it is the hardest damage in the game. It ain't going to take out 3 red blocks, but up near the top, it would take out 3 blocks, so it depends. But it does extra damage. You'll find out. If it's Riley and it's a ninja, it takes 3 turns. The boat is stealth, so you can't see it. And it takes out 2 blocks. So you're not preventing it. If it's a medic will go to the other team's wall, takes 2 turns, and will rebuild 2 blocks. Think Magic Mike's. If it's a tank takes 2 turns, take out 2 blocks, but the boat has double, it scales with the tank. Yes. The boats will scale with the person's damage, but it gets a modifier based on the class. So, for example, if a warrior and a tank both use nothing but health gems, the tank's boat is going to be stronger than the warrior's boat. That makes sense? So if a tank and a warrior have the same health, their boat does not have the same health. And you'll see that. So no AP, but it depends on who the player is, and you'll start to see it. So when you attack boats, you'll get an idea of who released the boat, what kind of gear they have, and whether or not you can kill it, or if you want to prevent the damage. So that's the other part of it. So a sniper can release the boat, it's going to hit. Same turn, cannot be stopped, one block. But the snipers are the only class that can do that. It's the lowest damage, but it also is guaranteed. So how a sniper plays it could depend on how you play against them. Like Ray may release his boat, and they may say, well, Moonshot's going to sit over there and wait. Let me sneak over there and release his boat too. It depends on how many turns. So, Engineer, 1 turn to get to the wall. Warrior, 2 turns. Ninja, 3 turns. Medic, 2 turns to get to the other wall. Tank, 2 turns. Sniper, 1 turn. Priest, 2 turns. So, if Samurai wants to attack Ocean Man's boat, see this line here? She needs to be on this side of that line in order to attack the boat to have range. So she starts out over here. She's not hitting that boat. So she's going to have to use some of her 2 turns, some of her ability to move. So that's taken into account. She moves. It's going to be 1 less thing that she can do. Ninja is unpreventable because it's stealth. That is correct. Takes 3 turns to get there. Now, the other question is, do the boats carry over from one half to the next? Yes, they do. But if you have a boat in play, your next boat is not going to dock until that boat hits. So, for example, if you put a ninja in the DZ and you wait till round 4 to release the boat, your second boat's never going to show up. All right. Let's go to Father Ron. Ron, you're up. Good questions, all good questions. We want to get these asked before the 26th, because that's when we're going live. Ron's going to move to the temple. Falls to Main Street. Main Straight. And a max seal. All right, Julia, you're up. All right, so Julia's going to warrior charge. That's her ability. half turn. She's going to send boss to the flag. We would boss net it under normal circumstances if they were the road team. If you use COC to change classes, it will get the effect of whatever class you change to. Going to play a seal. And Julia's going to go S6 Freedom Grenade to raise boat. Ron's going to prevent it. Ron doesn't even want to see how many hits it's going to take to sink the boat. All right, it's prevented. Can we pretend? What are you, in middle school? All right. No, we can't pretend. Let's all play make-believe. All right, let's go to Craven Light. All right, Craven Light. Oh, he's jumping on the shark. Oh, taking Marty with you. You can't have Marty. All right, blue is gone. All right, after Craven Light, we've got Samurai. Samurai, you're up. Yes. All right. Patriot Ocean Man. Pet Repel, F5 Freedom loaded to the wall. Ocean Man knocked out of the DZ. And F5 Freedom to the wall is hits. Busy Bee, you're up. All right, so Busy Bee is going to summon Amari, seal, M7 Marlin to the wall. All right, so let's see what happens. It's an M7 Marlin. So first things first, Amari is going to freeze the wall for animal. M7 Marlin gets redirected to raise boat. About 50%, about half of it. Health of boats is going to be it's going to be based on the number of hits. It won't be down to the penny like bosses. There'll be round numbers of hit, 2, 3, and maybe 4. So it's not going to take you all day to sink a boat because the points aren't really worth it. If that would have been an F7 Freedom Grenade, I'm sorry, M7, probably taking the boat down. So don't expect these boats that are going to get you 25, 50 points to be major hard to take down. Oh, no, 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 no. No, you can fire a hole in that boat. It's not just grenades. Some animals. All right, let's go to Moonshot. All right, Moon's going to go to the other portal. Red Blaze to the wall to unfreeze it, and M7 Capri to the boat. All right, M7 Capri is going to sink Ray's battleship. Trigger, we got to put you over here. All right, let's go to Animal. Animal, that wall was frozen. But now it's thawed because Moonshot just thawed it on you. So Animal, final move of round 1, and then we'll get some other players in. All right, Animal is going to drop Seal. M7 Marlin to the wall. Give him black and green for the M7. All right, who do we have that is on the bench? Give me a number from 1 to 20 if you've yet to get in the game. All right, so let's get. Cat is going to come in for Father Ron. We'll give her Ron's seal as well. Sheila's going to come in for Busy. And Dime's going to come in for Julia. All right, get one more speed round. Valar, we'll start out with you. Same thing, same order as before. We'll go Valar, then Ray. And by the way, if you were keeping score at home, the team on the left would have gotten 25 DZ points because they knocked Ray out of the DZ, Samurai did, and then Moon stayed in one of the 2 DZs. So team on the left has more walls. At the start of Valar's turn, Valar, you can't release a boat from the temple. What's she trying to do? Now, Rod can steal a block. Valar's like, release my vote. Rod takes a blue block. Valar thinks she's on defense. And remember, You have to be established in the DZ for a turn in order to release the boat. And you guys are going to see how cool that is this round. All right. Valar's going to freeze the wall. Seal, F5 Freedom loaded to the wall. Craven Light's playing red-blue. Now, he is on the Shark, and he can play red-blue. He can play defensive instance. All right, let's go to Ocean Man. Ocean Man, you're up. All right, so Ocean Man's going to move to the DZ. Summon Grizz. And go Wolf Ram to Valar. So Samurai or Crimson, you guys want to prevent that Grizz? So Moonshot can go over and release that. Oh, all right, I'll stop. Because if he gets knocked out of the DZ, he's got to reestablish himself. All right, they didn't prevent it fast enough. Sorry. Sorry, Riley, you're late. He got grizzed. Moon. Knocked to the other side of the map. Dime's playing Gold Psycho. No, Ray, I got a new one. Fly, Felicia. All right. Because yeah. All right, so Moon got launched, and Dimes used Gold Psycho. Fine with the damage. All right, so that is Ray's attack. Now let's go to Crimson. Crimson is going to steal a red block. Now, Crimson, you got a frozen wall. So, see, this is where it gets really interesting because now you're almost guaranteed to get one of their cooldowns. But that's the best way to get them to run out of stuff. It's a great setup there because Villar set it up with Amari, and now Crimson is going to be able to go gangbusters on the wall. I love these all-star games because it's like the only time you guys can use all of your blues and nobody yell at you. It's like, use them. We're gonna use them all in like one round. All right, Crimson's gonna go Pet Repel. M7 Freedom loaded to the wall. Now, you guys are either Sheila's like, I'll use blue. All right. No more blues. All the blues have been used for the right team. Craven had to jump on a shark to get what's like, hey, what happened? What happened while I was on the shark? You guys used all the blues. All right, so after Crimson, we go to Craven. Now, Craven gets ejected from the shark. Sharks are out of play. But that's his move. It is a 2-turn move to steal a boss. It's big, but at the same time, that's what he did on his first move. He just gets ejected. So, you will see some moves where people steal blues, but it's going to be risky at times. All right, so after Craven Light, let's go to Samurai. No, Dimes. Dimes, you're up. And I flip-flop Craven and Ron's turn. So, Kat, you'll go next. I think I flip-flopped him. I don't know. I think it was Ron and then Craven. Summon Rod for Dimes. Pet repel. And mag 7, Nebula to the wall. All right, so we got to move you back to your side of the wall here. The wall is no longer frozen. Kat, you want to use prevention or you want to let that hit? I mean, it's the strongest grenade combo, so yeah. Oh, look at Kat. Way to go. Way to be ahead of that one. Sorry, Dimes. M7 Nebula didn't get through. All right, Kat, your move. So she's going to send Pirate over to the. Oh, you know what? That reminds me. I need an icon for Pirate. But Pirate sounds kind of like Parrot, and Parrot is related to a toucan. So yeah. So let's put a toucan over there. Sorry, Flyrod. Flyrod the Pirate. All right, so Cat is summoning Pirate to hang out in the boat. Now remember, Pirate must be killed before that boat can be released. And if you're a defender, you can't kill Pirate and release the boat on the same turn. So that's why that's a pretty cool play, because then one of your teammates would have to kill Pirate before you can actually release the boat. It's a nice stall tactic. Moonshot is going to go gold blue. I would say, Craven, that's a good question. And here's the way I would answer that. Yes. I would say the answer to that, and this is the way we'll play it. An AoE effect would kill multiple pirates, but a single shot would not. So yes. Somebody could orange crush it and get rid of all the pirates on the boat. But if you had 2 or 3 and they decided to shoot at them, then it would be effective. It's a little different than Tang. Tang's going to be a little bit more spread out, so you don't get that AoE effect from an orange crush. An orange crush isn't going to kill multiple Tangs. And a torment over to Samurai. All right, so that is correct. Well, no, that would be incorrect. Because, Ron, if you played... No. Pirate is a passive pet. So let me think about that a little bit. I'll get back to you guys on that. I didn't really think about our pet rule. So competition committee, if you guys can write that down. I personally don't think that the value of playing pirate I think pirate is going to be one of those rules like Tang, where you have to cast it, so it does utilize that turn, but it doesn't keep you from playing other pets. So I'm going to say right now the ruling is probably going to be that you could have pirate, Tang, a legendary, boss, that pirate will add to it. I don't see it as being so overpowered that that's the only thing you can have out. It's not like it's hitting a person. So more than likely, it won't count against your allotment. All right, let's go to Samurai. All right, Samurai is going to go blitz to pirate. That's one way to get rid of pirate. Seal and thrill, freedom loaded to the wall. All right, we'll give Samurai a She can enrage. But give her a red block. All right, after Samurai, let's go to Shaman Sheila. Beasley, you're up. So we'll go Beasley, Moonshot, and Animal, and then we'll do a little bit of Q&A at the end. Some embossed to their chest. Pet Repel, M7 Freedom loaded to the wall. Moon, you guys going to use that final blue? All right, final blue. To shut down the M7, all blues have been used. All right, let's go to Moonshot, and we'll go to Animal. Moon, your final move. Now, this is why it was important. We mentioned this, that that Grizz probably would have been a strong play, because then Moon could have went DZ, came here, and released the boat. So now he'd have to reestablish into the DZ. Now, he can do other things when he goes into DZ. He just can't release the boat. So he could move into the DZ, then attack, then do something. All right. Again, we had this happen with the portal. So the only thing you can do is Sly Smoke and then you come up with a seal. That's it. All the other stuff you can't do. It's basically like a warp smoke, except you get a seal. That's it. And if Sheila goes Phantom Cape, you basically just burn the move. There you go. Actually, you could summon. Yeah, he can summon as well, Ray. No attack, but he can play the smoke and play the pet because he plays the pet before the smoke resolves. So, Red Paw will hit Ray twice. Thanks, Valar. All right, let's go to Animal. Animal, bring us home. All right, he's going to stack Boss to Main Street. Yep. And Blue Spark, Jester loaded to the wall. And since this is the final turn, Crimson Tide, would you like to prevent it? It is prevented, so they would shut it down. So that gives you guys a good walkthrough. Now, a couple things. We didn't see Mount Fury. We would have seen it if it would have went longer, probably. The rings would have been 2 more rings. So this is not going to give you every move that you can do to sort of plan it out, but you got a good feel for the temple. You know that you can go in the portal. You know that you can jump on the shark and steal. The DZ is going to be very exciting because boats, stealing boats, releasing boats. So again, if you guys have questions, shoot them over to Moonshot, and then we'll ask them in the competition committee. So one more thing came up before we go for the night, and it had to do with playoffs. So, like Jim Moore, playoffs. We've expanded the regular season from 9 to 12 games. Now, the reason that's important is because now every team will play each other 2 games at home, 2 games on the road. Mir, for example, had to play Vox twice at Vox. They played once at home. Vox won 2 of those games. If Mir would have played another home game, who knows what would have happened. So, point differential and having people show up is a big, big deal. So, you might not understand how the regular season works, but both home teams won. Mir was the home team. Arc was the home team. Both home teams won and advanced to the finals. So the regular season is super important. Now the question came up, do we want to do this like hockey or basketball? And then when you get to the playoffs, it's best of 3. So the reason I'm going to say no to that is, one, I love the suspense and the pressure of one game. Number 2, if we did do a series, if one team won 2 games and the other team was split, it would take 2 weeks longer. So our tournament would actually take over a month to do the tournament instead of 2 weeks. So there's just no way that we can do best of 3 and make it work the way we want it to work. So we're going to keep it at 1 game. It's all that build up, all that pressure. And I would say, if you don't want to play on the road, you need to finish first or second in the regular season. That's all the more reason why that conversation I was talking about earlier about getting your players to play. The regular season, the first couple weeks, yeah, I get it. It's kind of putting the feelers out there, trying to learn it. But by the time you get 2 weeks in, you really got to be playing for wins and losses. So we'll see. We'll see how a 12-game season goes. Let's put it out there right now. The Cove, the most wins by any team will be what number? There's no way it can be 5. You guys, you realize there's no way it can be 5 with 4 teams. It's impossible. It's mathematically impossible. Unless you have like 3 ties. I'm going to say, Ron, I'm going to say there's no way any team wins 9. I think 7, maybe 8. 7, maybe 8. Remember, you're playing each team 4 times. So there's 12 games. You're playing 6 games at home. So I think that would mean a team could win 5 out of 6 at home, maybe 2 on the road, possibly 3 on the road. I think 7 is probably a safe number. 8 would probably guarantee you first place. Oh, yeah, if we're adding playoffs, then 9 or 10. Because you have to win 2 in a row in the playoffs. I'm just talking regular season. Ron's like, well, Vox is getting 9, so that'll guarantee first place. All right. Good stuff, everybody. Hey, great questions. If you have any other questions, make sure you message those. That's it. It's been a roller coaster week for a lot of different reasons. And tomorrow I'll be working on your inventory. I'll get that out. So take a little time, get your character record sheet. You'll see all the new stuff you got, whether you got boxes, whether you got super replenishment, whether you got super bomber. Some of you got them all. So your inventory is going to look a lot different. Nothing came out from tonight. And let's have a good night. I'll be around for upgrades tomorrow. Let's have a great match Monday night. We got Sly traveling to Vox. And Wednesday night, we got the championship. So thanks, everybody. Have a great night. If you enjoyed the Cove, if you love the artwork, if you love the new mechanics, then give me a 999 in chat as we wind this thing down. We'll talk to you all Monday night. Peace.